80% of folks use somebody else the next time they go buy a home because they've lost contact with that agent there. And so it makes sense to, if consumers are already going back and engaging in the OneHome process and really like looking at properties and that there, why don't we figure out a way to keep them there and keep your name in the forefront? And so when they do have that life-changing event or get a bigger house or the things change, they've been interacting with you the whole time.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Triangle Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fagioli, here with the other Matt, the cooler Matt, Matt Fowler, your illustrious executive director at Triangle. How you doing, Matt?
Really great, Matt. How are you today, man?
Doing awesome. And our other buddy, partner in crime, North Carolina resident, CoreLogic boss man, Kevin Greene. What's up?
Hey, Matt. Thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And guys, this is the part 3 of our series where Matt and I are talking with the 3 vendors, at least initially the 3 vendors that are going to be providing all kinds of cool choice options of MLS and the Triangle. It's about to be launched. And so Mr. Fowler is going to talk through with Kevin some of the things that we already talked about at PropTech South about a month ago, but with the new launch date coming right up, it was perfect timing. So Kevin was gracious enough to come back and join us and share his thoughts. And so with that, Mr. Fowler, take it away.
Thank you, Matt. Matt, I screwed up Kevin's slide deck for those of you who attended PropTech South. We had a great day and everything went really flawlessly, except for the part that I was in charge of, which was that slide deck. And that went sideways, of course. So I get to really do something really cool. It's super geeky, I know, but I'm crazy excited about what this phone call that I got to have with Kevin. I don't know, a year ago. I've known Kevin for a really long time. Kevin's a legit good dude. And I got to call and say, hey, Kevin, a small MLS nearby has merged in with Triangle. And it's instead of, paying off their long CoreLogic contract, we just decided to have that assigned to us so we could administer that contract and continue to offer those services that the members over there valued. When they were talking about merging with us, they were all concerned about it. And as soon as I said, well, what if you got to keep Matrix? Then it went from kind of 50-50 support to like 90-10, super in favor of it. Like, we do want to work with the Triangle. That would be amazing. But if we can keep Matrix and do that, then we're in. And the best news was I got to say, hey, Kevin, I got 16,000 subscribers in the Triangle, and you guys, have a little less than 1,000 over in this small MLS. So you guys have the largest MLS count in the country. More realtors use Matrix than any other MLS platform. And we get to bring that into the subscribers in the Triangle without disrupting people that want to use another one. And that's what we're all about, is we want our subscribers down to the subscriber level, like other people do at Northwest MLS I was reading about yesterday. We want them to pick Matrix if that's the product that they think is going to make them the most money in the real estate business when it comes right down to it. Or one of the other ones, if it's one of the other ones. And you guys do a lot more besides Matrix, and we're going to kind of get into that. But what we get to do because of this choice project and all the work we've done at RESO all these years is we get to let the subscribers pick. And we're bringing in to kind of our virtual shelf the biggest company in the space. So I imagine you guys are going to have a lot to put on those shelves that my people are going to want to use. And this is our little way to just start talking about it in this podcast. And we've got 4 questions to ask Kevin. We'll let him kind of introduce himself, and I'll shut up and tell us where he came from. Matt just said he's from North Carolina too, so we're kind of North Carolina heavy. That's fantastic. Then we're going to get into our 4 questions. Kevin.
Thanks, Matt. Yep, Kevin Greene. I am the executive leader for the Real Estate Solutions Group at CoreLogic. Been in the industry a little over 20 years. Started off as an agent owner of a small brokerage in Jacksonville, Florida, originally from Jacksonville, and moved here to North Carolina. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. when I took my role here with CoreLogic. So really excited about the opportunity, Matt, of expanding our services throughout the state. As you mentioned, CoreLogic is the largest provider of MLS services in North America. We are also in Canada. We have over 1 million agents on our platforms, and especially our flagship platform, Matrix. We are in 25 of the 30 NFL markets, as people like to say. So we really do represent some of the largest markets in the United States, and excited to be expanding our services and offering our services to the Triangle folks.
Kevin, do you have a count on the SEC markets? I think that's more important.
Okay, so yes, I am an SEC person, just like Matt. But when you move to North Carolina, Matt Fagioli, you're supposed to kind of be a little bit more quieter than it just means more.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, it just means more. Yeah, like that. Yeah, roll tide, and we'll just move along. So the 4 questions, just to dive right into it. The first thing we talked about, since it's 2023 still, realtors don't work at their desks very much anymore, and they're out on their phones. And mobility is where we're going to start. So tell us why, if you're a mobile heavy person and you'd like your mobile stuff to work better, why is CoreLogic your choice?
Thanks, Matt. It's kind of a little softball question. You can probably see in my background. We recently acquired about 2 years ago Prospects Mobile out of Canada. They are a leading real estate mobile company, and we went out and looked to find who really can help us on the app space and integrate into all of our products. And so we went and acquired Prospects and their MLS Touch platform. That provides a native app for both the agent, as well as the agent can brand and share that app to their consumers and have that there. But more importantly, as you mentioned, is what does the agent do out in the field? And so we integrated their technology in with all of our platforms, which we call our ecosystem, whether or not it be Matrix and being able to do things within, searching for homes, et cetera, that they're, whether or not it's our Realist platform, which is our property database, and being able to see premium map layers and what's going on in properties nearby, all throughout the MLS Touch app, or connecting with, what your consumers have been looking at through our OneHome Client Connect portal. All of that goes into MLS Touch and being able to have a native app, which, as a lot of people know, even though, to use a good analogy, Facebook has a great website. And it actually has a great mobile responsive site, but most people like to go to the Facebook app when they're on their phone because it's just a better experience for them. And so that's what we have here. You have a mobile responsive opportunity as well, but do have a native app for you to have that native app experience.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about this before, Fagioli, but in the mobile, you just mentioned that you had access to Realist. So you've got your public records integrated into the mobile experience as well?
Absolutely, and the premium map layers. And so that's one of the things that we've turned on when relaunching this in a couple of weeks. Really excited to, I don't know if many people know that CoreLogic is the premier residential real estate property data aggregator. We do things for the insurance companies, the mortgage companies, et cetera. So when you're looking at floodplains, flood maps, all sorts of types of things, we're actually layering all of that inside of not just Realist, but as Matt just said, when you access it through MLS Touch, you will be able to access all of that data as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Matt Fowler, I think we also have to kind of touch a little bit on the OneHome piece because, I really actually can't speak to it on Flex, but the OneHome product that CoreLogic has is really just a standout in terms of the client search experience within the platform. And I think doesn't really fit the question box for the series the questions we've been asking, but I think that's a big deal as well.
Yeah, I think it actually, I think we were talking about prospecting. I think that's question 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about, let's skip to that. Question 2 was about CMAs and reporting. And actually rewind for a second about the about the public records because I want my people to understand that we have an agreement right now with CRS that provides the public records interface in Paragon and in Flex. And Realist comes with Matrix. And one of the things I think people might want to do is to go to the county that they operate in and look at, their own property or an active listing that they might have in the Realist platform and see what that looks like. Public record services differ. This is a call where we're not in a room full of a bunch of other customers where we never, ever talk pricing. But this is about educating our members, and it's $50 a month to belong to Triangle, an extra $25 a month to add a second interface. So if you're a Paragon user now and you want to keep that for whatever reason, all your contacts are in it, but you go out and look at Realist and you see that it has this OneHome thing. It's got the Realist public records, which in your particular area of the world is deeper or better or more up to date than you might find somewhere else. That might be a reason by itself, just for $25, to subscribe and get the entire suite of Matrix world out there. And I know we all pay more for a lot less in our world at the rate of $25 a month. So I'm inviting people to set up drip marketing out of Matrix and the other platforms, to like a Gmail address, and they can compare them and see, how is my customer going to interact with the system if I use Matrix or if I use another product. So I don't know what's going to happen, Kevin. My crystal ball is about as broken as yours is, I'm sure. But we think that people will try it, and we're going to give them a nice long trial period to go in and kick the tires on Matrix. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I think when
Matt,
you talk about Realist, I do, it's not just looking at your own property. I think it's really important. I know that's one piece of it, and it's great. And you'll see the great AVMs that CoreLogic provides. You'll actually see propensity to sell scores. You'll be able to get a lot of community insights that are in there. A lot of agents are more utilizing Realist as a prospecting tool because the ability of looking and seeing, homes in different price range, homes, different propensity to sell, all sorts of different information can be gleaned. And the nice thing about it is the whole state of North Carolina is in there. And as mentioning, that we have lit up in Realist, as well as all the premium map layers and reporting. So lots of different stuff as you get into question two, when you mentioned, Matt, as far as reporting is concerned. That's really where you get some really awesome reports and community insights that you can use, not just in your CMAs, et cetera, but more of your listing presentations and being able to bring some knowledge of what's going on in that neighborhood or that area and beyond. So really excited to be able to offer that to your members.
Yeah, Matt Fowler, you had a point that you're getting a lot for $25. There are lots of agents and brokers that are paying hundreds and even thousands of dollars a month for the kind of predictive analytics that you can kind of do in Realist. So
for sure,
that's noteworthy for it. Will you go back, Matt, before you go too much further, because I think you kind of jumped over a little bit about. Can you just clarify that how members can really have all three interfaces if they want them, and what that pricing is, just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. The way this is working is November 29th at 9:00 in the morning. The dashboard at Triangle is going to be refreshed to include two new buttons. One of them says try a Matrix. If you're currently a Matrix user, obviously you're already using Matrix, and you'll have the opportunity to try the other two. And you can turn these on starting November 29th. And your saved searches don't come over, but all the property and everything else does. So you can go and set up, a buyer or yourself. I was using the look up your own property example as it's the one you probably know best. And you can, print out what it looks like in CRS and what it look like in Realist, and which one's deeper and which one missed this, maybe prior historical record or physical attribute of the property, who knows. But that's the whole point of choice. I don't know what you might use to evaluate which system you want to use. I'm a recovering real estate appraiser who ran a software company for a long time. I mean, I know stuff, right, about the real estate space, but I don't know your farm and your neighborhood and your particular book of business. You do, as the as the subscriber. And what all we're trying to do here is to really kind of show you that Kevin's got a toolbox just crammed full of stuff that may animate your business next year in a challenging year to be in the real estate space. It's got maybe CoreLogic's so enormous, Kevin. Tell us how you like the rest of the CoreLogic business, mortgage, the mortgage stack. Like, is there a way to look at when you're doing farming, either through Realist or wherever, about assumables or foreclosures or other property?
Absolutely. You can search by that, as well as get, mortgage information, how many times, that's been refied, all of that information. There is a wealth and vast amount of information within Realist to be able to get some idea of not, what's going on with that property and what's going on, how they're managing that property. And and you can search by it. It's all searchable. So if you did want to see someone that's in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure, absolutely, you can search through that through Realist.
Well, assumable is so huge right now. If there's any mortgages that are assumable right now in this rate environment, the published price is actually a bit less given the financial impact of that mortgage.
Absolutely.
I know there are services like Rate Plug and others that we're considering to put into the other user interfaces. It may, as you just said, they'll already be in Realist, right?
So Rate Plug, great question. Rate Plug, as well as some other ones that are coming soon that we should probably talk about later, but they're integrated in our OneHome product. And that's our client collaboration product, which I'll just go into your next question of what we do from client collaboration. We built OneHome from the ground up and launched it about 2.5 years ago. Really focused on the client first, and it was really important because we really wanted to get those eyeballs and those clients wanting to come back and do search and interact in a platform that you, the agent, get to look at. And so our stats show, and we have our independency stats that show that our OneHome portal actually gets better scores than the top 3 portals in the country. My legal team doesn't allow me to name them, but if you can think of who they are, that's what they are.
Yeah, let's don't. But I think we can characterize it. In my position as the MLS director, I would love to have, I think of it as Switzerland, right? Yeah. I'd love to have something kind of in the middle that became the go-to that everybody could use and not a competing national brand, right?
Yep, and it's been a really awesome product and a really awesome journey, and we've continually layered on different iterations of that. Now been focusing a lot on the agent stuff. So every agent can brand OneHome for themselves. They can not only do that, they can share that with their consumers, and so it's branded all for them. That also, any type of branding that you do within OneHome or MLS Touch gets woven through all of Matrix. So it's not like you have to go into 4 different areas to do that. Once you brand one product, it brands all of them. And so everything is being sent out there. And so we see, right now, OneHome, the portal as a general, is actually the 8th most populous real estate website out there. And the nice part about it is it's invite only. So it's not like Joe and Sally can go to onehome.com or whatnot and search for homes. They need to get invited and have that opportunity to search for homes and interact with you, the agent, where you're being able to do that. And we're seeing a huge spike, and it's been a really fun ride on the OneHome product. And all of that is, as I said, woven in with all the products.
So when you say branding, you mean like you can replace the OneHome logo with yours?
Not just the OneHome logo, you could change the whole look and feel. So let's say the OneHome colors are very similar to what we have back here. If you're listening, it's like a green and white and an aqua. And let's say you're a Remax agent, which is, red and white, it'll completely change. You can change the colors. You can put the color code for each one of those in, upload your logo if you're an independent. We actually have already preloaded most of the national brands. And so you don't even have to do anything. You can just pick your brand and load up your picture and you're good to go. We really want to make that, agents like to hit the easy button and make it easy for everybody to do. And so that's the big thing is you do it in MLS Touch, it goes into OneHome, it goes into Touch, it reflects in Matrix. So any emails that get sent out, your brand and share as you share that app, as mentioning with MLS Touch, that gets done. Anytime your saved searches, et cetera, get sent to your potential clients, they get done in your colors, et cetera, and they go into your OneHome. Everything's connected and being able to see that.
So you can set that stuff up in Matrix, like kind of the traditional way where they get the MLS updates. Alternatively, if you want, you set them up in OneHome, and that's a different user experience. When they click back into that, they get the OneHome UX as the consumer.
Absolutely. It's more of a consumer-based type of experience, which that's what I was saying. We've gotten great scores on it, and that's why they've been really big, nice, big pictures, being able to swipe, being able to see that, very mobile responsive if necessary, 100%.
Yeah, so there are, for my Triangle folks, there's like mobile apps swirling around. We offer Home Spotter on the dashboard. How shall I put that? As a way to extend the offerings of some of our other MLS vendors and give them some more choice regarding mobility. So some of these things, Kevin, maybe you can get into the next question with this one. The next question is, we've talked about mobility and reporting and how you kind of interact with your consumer from all, your knowledge of all the stuff that CoreLogic does out there. We're going to talk about what we might want to talk about at our PropTech event next year last. But before we get to like the future, what is it right now that I haven't asked you about that you'd want us to know about coming from CoreLogic?
I think that's the biggest thing is one, I think all the products, we call it the CoreLogic ecosystem, it works definitely better together, but can be used separately. And so, Matt, as you mentioned, if you do like, MLS Touch, you may not be able to have access to modify listings in a different platform of choice, but you still can access all that property data. You still can access all of the searching and what's going on. You still can access Realist. You still get sync of your phone, and that's the nice thing. Any contacts that are in your phone automatically get synced into, Touch, and anything that you do now going into Matrix, we do all of that. So I think the biggest thing that we're really excited about is, yes, the products work better together in the CoreLogic ecosystem, but you can take them apart and use them separately. The one part that you can is the OneHome piece, because that is, as you've mentioned, so integral into being able to, either sending out via text or via email or both out to clients and coming back in. But all of the products you can pretty much use and choose to use a the MLS Touch mobile product and one of the other vendors, Realist to one of the other vendors, or any of that, how that works.
Kevin's foreshadowing our dashboard of the future, where we can imagine, in addition to having these big platform choices, that we have anything that might be separable. If you don't need to use Matrix, to use OneHome or bad example, or one of the other products, then there can be a button for that lets you turn that on from CoreLogic, and we'll make it work throughout the MLS world, so it's provisioned properly for your brokerage and teams, and it follows all the Triangle rules. But we're trying to give everybody down to the subscriber level the ability to look through all these products and decide which ones work best for them. So September 18th, 2024 for your calendar, Kevin, is PropTech South next year. We're doing that's a Thursday. We're going to do all day again. We haven't picked the facility yet, so that's not carved in stone. That's our date though, and hopefully we'll find a facility that matches that. We're doing our big annual strategic planning session the next day, so my staff has got a pretty slammed September there, and I think we leave Monday to go to CMLS. Is how that works. It's going to work next year. So we hope that CoreLogic can send somebody out next year. You've certainly invited yourself, but you guys have got a big family and a lot of folks in Greensboro. I know AJ's over there. There's a bunch of people over and that kind of
We
live
have a nice
local.
sized office. Is actually Greensboro is our real estate solutions headquarters here, and so yeah, we'd love to help support you and your brokers. And if any of your brokers would be interested in having, our trainers or client success folks to help and show and what the products and services we have, we are more than willing to drive on down the I-40 and come visit and being able to do some things.
You can even do that sometimes when not sit and parked in I-40. So what do you think next year, Kevin? I mean, AI is sitting out there on everybody's lips, right? What do you think next year that you're able to share with us?
Well, we have some pretty neat AI stuff already. We've partnered with, Recipe AI, one of the leading AI folks. We actually have some AI stuff in-house too that may or may not be unveiled at our user group in June. But the cool things that we do have with AI coming up that actually launching this month, we have auto tagging of photos. We have the auto description of photos and the ability to do an auto description for the whole property. So lots of really different things and cool things to make things a lot easier for agents and brokers. And the other part is it's fully editable. So you can have it, you can hit the button first, let it do that, kind of give you a cheat sheet and then go back in and do that. The big thing that we'll also be talking about next year in September is our one home owner piece. One home owner, we've talked a lot about providing tools and services of helping a buyer through the process right now. But as we know, we want to make sure that you keep them as a client. 80% of folks use somebody else the next time they go buy a home because they've lost contact with that agent there. And so it makes sense if consumers are already going back and engaging in the one home process and really like looking at properties and that there, why don't we figure out a way to keep them there and keep your name in the forefront? And so when they do have that life-changing event, or it's just time to get a bigger house or get downsize, et cetera, or the things change, they've been interacting with you the whole time. And that's the next thing of being able to offer those type of services. So excited to maybe talk about that a little bit more next year.
Cool. And it'd be great if somebody cracked the code on that, right? And this actually became like a, I don't know, less sucky neighborhood community conversation, that could be under the tent of the organized real estate. They want to know what's up with the house that just got listed down the street. And, the sign went down 3 days later. Everybody in the neighborhood wants to know what's going on with that. And, to the extent that that's allowable, I think you could sign up for a neighborhood, real estate hot sheet kind of thing, sponsored by the guy you met at the grocery store that turned out to be your buyer rep last time. If you actually stuck to that, that could be worth a lot.
Well, and then the other part is having that tied into your dashboard. And so like within the Matrix dashboard, we have the timeline. And so the other piece is it's one thing to keep them coming and then they come, but you got to know that they came. And and what is my next step? Is like, hey, guess what? Matt Fowler just was looking at just logged into the OneHome and was searching for property. He might be interested in a new house. You might want to contact him.
Sure, based on their engagement metrics and triggers. And that's kind of that's the 60,000 foot message. And to the BICs watching this podcast, I want them to understand that we've invested, we've invested a lot of their money in building an automated back end or infrastructure to eliminate double entry, to build rule-based processes that will allow their brokerages to scale in a confident way, because we can ensure at the MLS level that their back-end processes don't violate MLS rules, and that their agents don't have to rekey things, and that leads that come in through our systems flow directly into their CRMs without generating work for them. It's that automation that we haven't touched on Trestle, and we don't have time in this event. But Trestle is CoreLogic's enormous data distribution system that we're going to support through our relationship with the former Alamance group. People that get their data from Trestle already can continue to get their data through Trestle. It'll just be updated, and now it will include all the Triangle data too. And there's a lot in the Trestle platform for data consumers. This is what they would use to power their websites with IDX or VOW feeds. So we've got a lot of activity. We use CoreLogic to do our data checking, to validate the quality of the data by looking at the photos and making sure that there are no rules violations. We've been using CoreLogic's product to do that for a long time. So this is just expanding a already existing and kind of long-term relationship with you guys. And I hope, I don't know, my guesstimate is that 10% of the 16,000 users will decide to do something. That's 1,600 people. We'll see, maybe more. We're going to have a bunch of classes and talk about it. CoreLogic's going to have the opportunity to get in front of our people. And there's the Try Matrix button that'll be coming to your dashboard November 29th in the morning that will offer some more information about what Matrix and the rest of the CoreLogic platform has to offer for a mere $25.
Nice. Well, and guys, it's coming up really soon. Is it 27th, right, of the month?
We freeze the databases Monday noon, November 27th, and the database is locked. I've been saying frozen. Shout out to Elsa. Monday afternoon, all day Tuesday, and we turn it on for everybody again with choice and all the data merged together on 9 a.m. Wednesday, November 29th is the current timeline.
Cool. That it might actually be
working days.
Might actually be 2 day when you're watching this that's happening. So that's exciting.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Awesome. Go sign up and see what CoreLogic looks like then.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin, for being with us.
Thank you, Matt and Matt. I appreciate the opportunity and looking forward to a great partnership.
Guys, thanks for listening to the Triangle MLS podcast. See you back here real soon.